It's been a while since I last did a broker comparison video, and since then, a lot of things have happened, such as new features, some new promotions going on. There's even a broker that stopped offering their services to peasant, non-accredited investors. So in this video, I'll be doing an updated comparison between all of the most popular brokers in Singapore, namely Interactive Brokers, Moomoo, Tiger Brokers, Weeboo, SafeTrade, Poems, Saxo, USmart, Prosperous, and FSM1. I'll be covering everything you need to know to help you decide which is the best broker for you, including which has the lowest trading fees for each market, what features do they have, and their sign-up rewards. As a bonus, if you need a quick summary of everything mentioned in this video, I've compiled this beautiful comparison table which you can download for free. Link down below, yeah? Also, do join my Telegram group t.me/KelvinWest to discuss or ask anything about stocks, investing, and personal finance. Alright, let's start with the first part, fees. For the sake of fairness, all the fees that I'll be using to compare are non-promotional fees. For example, Tiger Brokers has zero commission trade for US stocks for 180 days, or Weeboo, which offers zero commission trade for 1 month. But after all that, the usual fees will apply. And since we'll be using the broker for the long term, we will focus on the non-promotional rates. And with that, let's start with the US markets first. The cheapest broker would have to be Interactive Brokers, which only charge 0.0035 per share, with a minimum of 35 cents per trade. After that, Weeboo would come in second. While they no longer have zero commission trades starting 1st October 2023, their fee is still super low at 0.025%, with a minimum of 50 cents per trade. Besides that, there are 3 more notable mentions. The first one is Moomoo, which charges a flat fee of 99 cents per trade. This makes Moomoo super good for trading a large amount of shares, since it doesn't matter how many shares you trade, whether it's 1,000 shares or 1 million shares, the fee will always be fixed at 99 cents. The second one is SafeTrade, which is offering 2 free trades per month. This is super good for passive investors who only trade once or twice a month, as they will get to enjoy the 2 free trades every time they trade. The last one is Saxo. The reason this is in orange is because whether it's cheap or expensive depends on how often you trade. If you seldom trade, Saxo is expensive, since there's a recurring account fee, plus their commission fee are higher at cheaper plans. But if you trade frequently, Saxo will be cheap. For example, at the Diamond plan, the fee is just 0.02% with a minimum of 25 cents per trade, which is actually cheaper than all the other brokers here. Next, Singapore stocks. The cheapest broker would be Moomoo, Tiger Brokers, and SafeTrade, all of which are charging around 0.06% fee and minimum $1.98 per trade. However, you need to be careful with Tiger Brokers, as they will charge a $2 custody fee per quarter, unless you make 1 SGS trade per quarter. As for Poems, Saxo, and Prosperous, it depends. For Poems, if you have 250k total asset value with them, the fee will be 0.06% with no minimum. Same for Prosperous, which only charges 0.06%, no minimum, if you have more than 50k account value with them. Likewise, for Saxo, if you are on the Diamond plan, the fees will only be 0.03%, $1 minimum per trade. The next few markets are pretty straightforward, so I will just quickly go through them. For Hong Kong stocks, Weeboo is the clear winner here, as they only charge 0.03% with a minimum of $12 per trade. Same for the China market. Weeboo is again the cheapest at 0.02% with a minimum of 12 renminbi per trade. As for the Australia market, RBKR would be the cheapest at 0.08%, $5 minimum fee. But if you trade a lot, Saxo would be cheaper as it charges 0.05% and $6 minimum fee on the Diamond plan. For the London market, RBKR would win hands down as it charges a 0.05%, $1.70 minimum fee. As for the Malaysian market, FSM1 would be the cheapest at 0.08%, $8.80 minimum. So those are all the pricing for stocks and ETFs. Now, let's talk about the other products. For US option, the cheapest brokers would be Interactive Brokers, which only charge 25 cents per contract and a minimum of $1. But if you only trade 1 or 2 options per trade, Tiger Brokers and Weeboo would be the cheapest, as they don't charge a minimum fee for US options. Same for USmart, which charges 50 cents per contract when you are on the trader account plan. Then if you trade a lot of options, Saxo will again be the cheapest, as they only charge 25 cents per contract with no minimum when you are on the diamond plan. Next, personally, I don't trade CFDs, but if you do, this is for you. The cheapest brokers would be Saxo and Prosperous. Saxo charges 0.04% per trade on the diamond plan, while Prosperous charges $0.012 per share if you have more than $50,000 worth of assets with them. For the overnight rate, while Poems has a fixed 6% rate, Saxo and Prosperous uses the prevailing rate plus a markup. And given that the current interest rate has gone up to around 5%, Poems' fixed rate ends up being cheaper. Also, pro tip, if you want to use Poems to trade CFD, it's cheaper to use their MT5 platform to trade, where you get a much lower commission of 0.128%. Finally, both Poems and Saxo are charging recurring fees, though in most cases, the fees can be waived. For example, for Poems, the $15 quarterly maintenance fee can be waived if you trade at least once per quarter. Same for foreign shares custody fee, which can be waived if you make at least 2 trades per month. Similarly, dividend fee can be waived if you have more than 250k total assets with them. However, corporate action fees can't be waived. As for Saxo, the plan fees can range anywhere from $1 all the way to $145. While this may seem super expensive, take note that other than the bronze plan, all the other plans fees can be used to offset the trading commission fees. For example, for the gold plan, the plan fee is $15 per trade, but in return, you get back that $15 in the form of commission rebates. And again, this shows that Saxo is a better fit for people who trade a lot, as they will use up the commission rebates so that it will be worth it. Next, let's compare some of the broker's features. First up, US fractional shares. If you don't know what this is, basically with fractional shares, you can buy less than 1 share. This is useful for people who don't have much money to invest, as they can just invest like $10 or $20 into a stock that will usually cost a few $100s to own. For this, interactive brokers, Moomoo, Tiger Brokers, Webull, SafeTrade, and Usmart support fractional shares. As for Hong Kong fractional shares, only Moomoo supports it. Next, for option strategies, most of the brokers support all the common option strategies, such as covered call, covered put, vertical spread, straddle, strangle, and so on. However, Webull only supports 2 main strategies, covered call and cash covered put, while Poems only supports covered call. Next, almost every broker gives you a return on your idle cash. However, while most brokers let you invest the idle cash whenever you want, for Usmart, the money would have to be locked up for either 1 month or 3 months, during which you would be unable to invest or withdraw the money. So it's kind of like a fixed deposit, though you are able to unlock the money anytime you want. And if you decide to unlock before it matures, you won't be able to earn the return. Next, almost every broker supports recurring buy, so it will be pretty useful if you need to automatically invest your money periodically. As for other funding sources, both Poems and FSM1 are the only brokers here that allow you to invest your CPF and SRS money. Next, except for Webull, almost every broker lets you transfer your assets in. However, take note that most brokers like Moomoo, Tiger Brokers, Poems, Saxo, Usmart, Prosperous, and FSM1 only lets you transfer stocks and ETFs in. So they don't support the transfer of cash and option positions. Alright, now comes the fun part, promotions. I won't go into every single promo as they are pretty self-explanatory here, but there are 2 things to take note of. 1, many of these promos only last for a short duration, after which they may either change to a new promo or remove it entirely. For example, Tiger Brokers Transfer In promo is only till 31st October 2023. Same for FSM1's Transfer In promo, which only lasts till the end of the month. So if you want to enjoy these promos, you better chop get it ASAP, yeah? 2. Most of these promos require you to perform certain tasks before you can enjoy the rewards. For example, for Moomoo, you need to subscribe 80k to Moomoo Cash Plus for 30 days, deposit $10,000 while performing 13 buy trades. Only then you will get the full $730 welcome rewards. The only super generous promo here would have to be from Webull, which straight up gives you 2 free shares worth up to $2,000 in total when you deposit any amount and keep the money there for 30 days. As for the pros and cons, they are pretty self-explanatory here, so I won't go through them. But what you need to know is this: there's no best broker for everything. Each broker has its own strengths and weaknesses. For example, if you want a broker that has a cheap US commission, you can consider RBKR or Webull. Or if you trade frequently, Saxo would be good for you. So just use this table to choose the best broker based on your needs, yeah? Anyway, that's all for this video. Hopefully it helps you out. Like, share and subscribe as I'll be posting new videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday.